Thank you. Thank you, Mike, for your introduction. And I'd like to thank you and your fellow hosts, Don Emilio Yap and Jimmy Laya, for being such gracious hosts to this event. Secretary Fabila and the other officials of the Philippine government who are here today, Freddy Yao, chairman of the conference, President Lacson, the other officials of PCCI, Francis Chua, who was last year's chairman, who led the awardees, and the other very well-deserving awardees, star-studded awardees that we have today. Officers and members of the Chamber, movers and shakers of Philippine business and industry, ladies and gentlemen. Every week brings a new chapter in the financial drama that is gripping the world. 3 weeks ago, the US government approved an unprecedented bailout that many thought would calm the waters. Last week, those waters are roiling across the globe as Asian and European markets and governments scrambled to respond in kind. Then markets around the world swung back again in a positive direction. Who knows where they will be for the rest of this week and next week? One thing is sure, we must not lose sight of the impact on the ordinary Filipino who bears the brunt of these market fluctuations. The global economic crisis, as you businessmen and women all know, is responsible for driving up the prices of food, fuel, and rice in the Philippines and around the world. During these times, it is the role of government to help insulate the citizens from price shocks and economic pressures. Therefore, today, let me present a proposed contingency plan to cushion the impact on the average Filipino of a possible recession of the US economy. We hope that recession will not happen, but if the worst comes to pass, what happens? First, the Philippine economy has certain shock absorbers. We have a solid banking system. A global slowdown will result in lower oil prices. The projected expatriate inflows was 10% growth. Actual growth so far is 18%. Even if the US economy tanks, expatriates there are in sectors less sensitive to recession, that is, teachers, nurses, IT-related workers, caregivers. The Arab engine is up due to the past 5 years of costly oil. This has led to construction booms in the Middle East and a surge in remittances. In addition, the fact that the Philippines has a Mindanao close to the heart of the Middle East opens up opportunities not only for Mindanao, but for the entire country. The slowdown in merchandise exports is countered by strong growth in service exports, especially the BPO sector. And it's so fitting and timely that we've given an award to Andrew Tan, the first landlord of all these BPOs. The corporate income tax falls from 35% to 30% in 2009, providing relief to your firms. The programmed NG deficit for the year is 75 billion pesos, 0.5% of GDP, right, Peter? So far, as of the end of September 2008, it is 53.4 billion, which we can extrapolate to 71.2 by the end of the year, and privatizing Petron will provide additional headroom of 25.7 billion. Our Dubai oil assumption was $115 to $125 per barrel. The average so far is only $107. Inflation is at the lower end of the forecast band. Nonetheless, in order to pump prime growth, we present some of our key strategies. The government shall continue its support for agriculture via the Fields program. Our farmers will be getting the investments they need. Last year, NFA procured from our farmers less than 100,000 metric tons. Starting this season, NFA will procure 1 million metric tons from our farmers. So that is compared to less than 100,000 last year. We will give renewed emphasis to housing. We will market Philippine BPO as the cost-cutting solution for U.S. firms. In the meanwhile, you also have a role to do. We encourage our exporting firms to diversify, innovate, and technologically upgrade. We will provide more lending support for the SMEs. We will expand our trade, investment, and tourism with our giant neighbor, China. We will attract more investments from the Arab nations awash with oil revenues. And to pump prime more next year, to do all these things, we will improve our revenue capacity. On infrastructure, we will improve the absorptive capacity of government agencies. So we direct the infra agencies to prepare their engineering plans now for the projects in the proposed 2009 budget, which we hope will be passed in time. We will promote greater participation by GFIs, GOCCs, LGUs, and the private sector, the private sector, in our infrastructure project. That is why, to upgrade the country's infrastructure,